Things they don't tell you about living in Windsor, Ontario. So I've been doing these videos for a while, and I get a lot of comments from people when they first get here, and also a lot of questions before they get here, and I'm sometimes really surprised by those questions. So this is going to go over the things that you might not know about the Windsor area. My name is Ryan. I'm a real estate agent in southwestern Ontario. I do London and I do Windsor. I've spent more than 10 years of my life in the Windsor area. If you need any help purchasing a home in Windsor, that's my phone number right there on the screen. Number one, parts of Windsor look ghetto, okay? I had someone call me and they were like, Ryan, we sold our home. We flew to Windsor. We're driving around. This place looks like a dump. What the heck? Your videos say it's amazing. And I said, well, where are you? Where have you been? Guys, listen, they explored everywhere where I told them isn't very nice. Every city has rough parts, and you chose specifically those parts, okay? So if you look at a map here, LaSalle down here, absolutely beautiful area. It's quite pricey. You get large, beautiful 2 stories, gorgeous area. You have South Windsor, East Windsor, Forest Glade, Fontainebleau, Riverside, Tecumseh, Lakeshore. Windsor has a lot of fantastic places to live, but if you look on a map and you drive directly into the center of it where it says the words Windsor, yeah, it's not gonna look that good. Like downtown anywhere in Ontario is not great right now, and the neighborhoods surrounding downtown obviously aren't good either. And I have entire videos about how the west end of Windsor typically struggles. Sandwich Town's not known to be a great area. There's lots of great areas, and if you watch these videos and you pay attention, you'll know exactly where you should live. Number 2, living by the water is everything. Honestly, you don't have to be into fishing or be into boating or kayaking or sailing or paddleboarding or any of the things that you can do here by the water. Just walking by the water is peaceful. It does, like, I think they've done studies. Being by water just makes you happier. And that's what it's like living in Windsor. The Detroit River, Lake St. Clair, Lake Erie, all around you is big bodies of water, and going for a walk by the water is fantastic. So I moved to Windsor in my early 20s, and I ended up renting an apartment on the Ghetto Trail, this paved path that meanders all the way down Riverside Drive to Tecumseh. And I would go for walks because I was broke. Walking's free. I'd go walk by the water, and some nights it was calm and the sun was setting and it was very nice. Some nights it was windy and there was big waves crashing around me. Some nights something was in season in the water and there's fishermen everywhere pulling out these big fish. It's fantastic to have that be your evening walk rather than some busy suburban street with cars and red lights. Like, it's a much different experience being by the water. In the summer, taking a kayak or a paddleboard out is fantastic. There's places to rent them, and if you own them, there's all sorts of little different spots you can paddle to. Like there's Pesh Island. I know there's like on Facebook, there's like a Windsor Paddlers Facebook group, and people will just paddle out to the beaches around Pesh Island and have a barbecue, have a few drinks, and then paddle back. It's a great way to spend a summer afternoon. Okay, number 3, Windsor is safer than the GTA. Okay, I don't know, I get phone calls from people and they're always asking about crime. They have this idea that Windsor is a lot of crime. I don't know if it's because we're near Detroit, which, by the way, even Detroit's come a long way. It's not that bad. But I don't know why Ontario has that opinion of Windsor. Go to Stats Canada and look up the violent crime rates. They break it down for like everywhere. Like Windsor is safer than Brampton and Mississauga and Toronto and Vaughan. It's safer even in the rough areas of town. Like I don't know that there's anywhere in Windsor where I would feel unsafe. Like there's areas of town that I've mentioned that aren't nice, and those are places you might get your bike stolen. Those are places where someone might smash the window of your car to grab some loose change. But I don't think you're in any danger. You know what I mean? Whereas there are places in other parts of Ontario, specifically the GTA, where it's like, yeah, you could, it's unsafe. Okay, the last point I want to make is don't trust House Sigma, okay? There's nothing wrong with House Sigma as a website, but there is something wrong with the way we do real estate in Windsor. Drives me insane. So most homes, especially right now under 600,000, they're gonna price it about 100 grand less than it's worth, if I'm really honest with you. So if you, let's say you owned a home and you looked around and you said, okay, well, I had 3 neighbors that just sold for 500. Let's put my house up at 400. And then you get, multiple offers, or you aim to get multiple offers, and you hopefully get one with no home inspection and no financing clause. That's just how it's done here in Windsor. The smaller the price range, the more likely that is to happen. And that's just because there's more buyers with 300 grand, 400 grand than there is with $1 million, right? So it's annoying and it's misleading, okay? So people will call me and they'll be like, Ryan, I saw this house on House Sigma or Realtor.ca or whatever. They want 700K or they want 600K. I'd buy it for that. And I'm like, that's great, but you're probably gonna need an extra 100 grand on top of that. Even with the market going down like it did last year, like that still happens a lot of the time, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're looking at Windsor real estate. You are not going to pay more than it's worth, though. I want to stress that, okay? It's very rare for a house to sell more than the comparables in the neighborhood. Like, we all have access to the same data. You don't have to go in and overbid. You just have to understand what the value is and then pay what the value is on the home. As for a home inspection and financing clause, there are ways around that as well. But I just want to get that out there. Don't necessarily, in the Windsor area, trust what you see as an asking price on House Sigma or on Realtor.ca. So those are a few things they don't tell you about living in Windsor, Ontario. If you live here and you have some comments, you can feel free to put it down below. If you want to move to this area and you need some help, I'm a real estate agent in southwestern Ontario. I specialize in both London and Windsor. Windsor's very close to my heart. So if you have any questions or you need some help, feel free to reach out. 519-551-4058. That's my phone number right there. It's on the screen. Tons of other videos on this channel. Go click them. Go on a binge watching journey, okay?